we're on Daf Mem Zayin and Beis. We need to get over to Mem Ches and Aleph today. So let us begin. We're going to go at a quick pace. So it says in the Mishnah, if you ate tevel u'maiser, it says tevel u'maiser sheloi niftu, right? You ate tevel maiserish sheloi niftu, was not properly separated. The truma was not properly separated. Or maiserish sheloi niftu. Yeah. So the Gemara says, in other words, this is not something you're supposed to eat. So you're not yaitzer. You can't make zimun. Tevel pshita, obviously. Tevel tovel midrabbanan. It's tevel only midrabbanan. How would you have such a thing? Since it's only it's in a pot. It's in a like a flower pot, it's a plant. It's growing in a pot, and therefore not really connected to the ground. The Torah doesn't consider that really something which is chayiv, which is golem in the Oretz in Eretz Yisrael, and therefore you're not really chayiv. You are, and that's nevertheless you can't be mizan. Ochel tevel ma'aser ma'aser rishon pshita. No, as we explained before, he piled up the grain, and at that point, the Levi took the meiser. So since yet the chiyuv, there's no chiyuv yet, so then you don't have to take truma at that point. No, you do. You do have to take truma then. And if you don't take truma, it's considered tevel, and you can't eat. Ma'aser sheni, pshita, you weren't paid there. No, it's not exactly. We're alluding that it wasn't exactly. You didn't 100% paid it. It was niftu v'loy niftu. For example, ma'aser sheni kigoyin should go agabe asimoy. You use an invalid coin, an asimon. It's an what do you call it? Doesn't have an unstamped coin. It doesn't have it's not really a currency. Rahmana Amar, it's out to kesef. Kesef yesh b'tzura. It has to be a stamped coin. It's a currency. Hagdish, similarly on the story, Shechila Kavi Karka. Chila was not on the ground, on property. When it was out to kesef, you need to use currency. Kesef, you have to kesef shesh b'tzura. So that's go put it with kesef. Why don't we nothing to kesef to come? You need to use money. Hashamish ochol pachos mikazayis. Pshita obviously didn't eat. He can't be mitzdarif on the tani reish kazayis. Tani sefer b'chol mikazayis. Yeah. There's no big chiddush in that. He didn't eat the kazayis. Hanachri im zamin. You can't do zimun on a nachri. Obviously, pshita. You can't do zimun on a nachri. It's shaykh to benching. The Gemara answers about Eskina and Bigel Shalav V'Latovel, that he was mal. He's a ger. He was mal. But he didn't yet finish the gerus with tefillah. It's not so pashut, but he's not a ger. Achiyim V'Yipol. That's the chiddush. We're alluding to these. Obviously, these are not chiddush of the etzem din birkas hamazon or zimun, but we're alluding to these different details and nafkaminas in all areas. Okay, so here we have big sukkim. We're going to discuss now exactly where we draw the line. Who can be part of zimun? So nashim avodim v'tanim, we're not mizamnim. Omer Rabbi Yossi. So this comes on Rabbi Yossi, the big chiddush. He says as follows: Chatan, Amud HaYomi, a little baby. He's in the baby carriage. Mizamnin Allah. You could do zimun. You could be the third guy. Frankly, Gemara, how can you say that? It's explicit in the Mishnah that they can't. So the Gemara answers, who don't keep Mishu ben Levi, Mishu ben Levi, Abisham, Kotam, Mutabal, Yisem, Zaman, Alav. Of course, you can't do Ziman Ava Oisos. So a sniff, it is easier to make him a sniff part of the count of La Sora, to have a Zimun, not to have a minion with Zimun. That you can do. Similarly, Mishu ben Levi, Teisha, Ve'eved, starving, you can use them as number 10. So that's what we said. This is Mishu ben Levi says that it's different. When we talk about the 10th person creating the minion, and we'll see, we're going to equate this in a moment now with the minion in general. What does that mean? Does that mean that a minion, that you could have the 10th person, a minion, could be also a child or an Eved? So we're going to question that right now. So the word says, what does that mean? Basically, Maisa Reblezer. There was a Maisa. Reblezer came to shul one day, Nichos B'Saknesis, and there's a problem. No one's a Sarah. No one's out of bed. V'shikar Avdu, so what did he do? He takes his Eved, and he's B'shachar him a bit, Just, he gave up on being an Eved. Just to have a minion. We still a Sarah. What do you see from the story? From the story, you see that Shichu in Leshichu the only way to make the Eved, the 10th person, in the minion is through Shichur. So the more answers, you're right. That if you read the words of the story, Kipshutoi, so it is a contradiction to what we just said. We have to reinterpret the facts here. The facts are trades. No, they only had 8 for the minion. Shichur chad, they take a free one. V'nafik b'chad. Okay, so really, Chatzer Mishu ben Levi is going to have to reinterpret this whole story of Rebbe Lezer with the Eved, because he says you can use an Eved, you can use a cutter, even a child in a crib. So I think Gemara, now this is a little bit of a parenthetical point we're going to go into now. How can this story make sense? It's not that you don't have to free your Eved to make a minion. You are not allowed to free your Eved to make a minion. You're over be'esei la'olam b'hem tavaydu. Torah obligates us. It's an obligation. It's not just a fact. It's an Eved. The Torah expects us, if we have an Eved, you should let him be an Eved. That's what the Hashem made him for. That's what he's supposed to be doing. You should not let him free. So, and for the Gemara, it's not true. The Dvar Mitzvah shining. It's a Dvar Mitzvah. So I shouldn't let him free, but it's a Dvar Mitzvah. So what do you mean? Mitzvah Babaveri, it's a mitzvah. Shkoyach, it's a mitzvah, but it's a mitzvah, yeah, but you're doing an Avera to do a mitzvah, that we don't do that. We never do such a thing. So our answer is not true. We will do that in mitzvah de Rabbim. When it's not my personal mitzvah, it's a mitzvah of the Rabbim, so we can even do an Avera. A person should always be one of the first 10 people in the morning in the Beis Knesses. Because no matter how many people come out afterwards, he gets the schar of everybody. In fact, what does that mean? Other guy down chakras, it's my schar. Does it make sense? Schar kulam. They'll get schar also, but I'll get whatever he gets, I'll get also. I'll get the same amount of schar we got. Because we are, because he's initiating it. He's helped bringing us to bring this. By being there first, he's helped contributing to other people. Okay, now we're going to continue. We're going to discuss other scenarios of creating the 10th man in the minion. We're missing, right? So there's halacha, interesting halacha. There's a Teshuv Ha'arim Mitzarfin, that if there's 9 people and there's an Arna Kodesh, They're mitzdarif. Amalei Rav Nachman v'oroin gavro. Does that make sense? Is that a person? Elam Rav Yehuda Teisha v'ar Teisha near a similar, let's say a different version of this. No, it's not. It's that since 9 people could give the appearance of a 10, I would starve it. And the Gemara explains that. Why is that? Well, there's 2 different ways of looking at it. I want like Mechanfi, I want like Mivduri. Some say when they're all crowded together, it looks like 10 people. You can't live with some say when they're spread out and they're all over the place. It also looks like there's a lot of people. So that's enough. Amar of Ami Shnayim Shabbos mitzdarfin. Now we're going back to Z. We're not 10. But we're saying if on Shabbos itself is also something. We don't pass like any of this, obviously, but we do say that Shabbos is mitzdarfin when you make Sheva Brachos and he put in Chadoshes. So there we say Shabbos is mitzdarf. Put in Chadoshes. Amar Rav Nachman v'Shabbos gavru el Amar Rav Ami Shnei Talmid Chachamim mechadedin zeh zeh b'halacha. So 2 Talmidei Chachamim that are creating Shechina with the Chiddur Halacha are also mitzdarfin. Machmir Rav Chisda going out of Rav Sheshes. Yeah, he looked at the point and he says like me and Rav Sheshes. Machmir Rav Sheshes going out of Rav Chisda. Okay. Rabbi Yechon put up his amla. Katan who's pareach. Now this is Rashi learns that he has Cyrus. He's a katan. That means he's still a child, but he's 12 or 12 and a half, whatever it is, and he's pareach. So he's already mizamnilov. He could be seen. Tani Abi Katan Shevi Shtei Cyrus. That's what we say basically. Mizamnilov. Shaloi Shtei Now Shaloi Shtei Cyrus. Ain't mizamnilov. Now here's the sticky point. Pay attention to this point in the Brachos. It says ve'ein medaktikin. Now what does that mean? It's clearly defined that he's mitzvah. He's considered a gadol for zima only with shtei Cyrus. So then why does it say afterwards v'adatani ein medaktikin? What does that mean? L'sui mind. So one answer is lav l'sui katan pareach. But normally you have to either Cyrus or not. What does it mean, ein medaktikin? Not whether he has a Cyrus that you have to have. That's requirement. Ein medaktikin, exactly how old he is. Well, if he's exactly 13 years, or if he's a little bit less, it's also if he has shtei Cyrus. Well, let's see if we don't pass it. Eliki Rav Nachman, we pass it like Rav Nachman. It says, "Katan ayedei lamim avochid mizamad." It said, "Katan who's yedei." This is a new concept. What age can a katan be zimun? No, not when he's in a crib, not when he's not necessarily does he have to have shtei Cyrus. He has to understand what's going on. So if he knows l'mi mevorchim, he knows there's a Kodesh Baruch Hu l'mi mevorchim. Then he's Abai v'Rava havi yasik kamei de Rabba. When Abai v'Rava were children, they were sitting in front of Rabba, and he said to Amalei Rabba l'mi mevorchim Amalei Rachmana. And he asked him a question. He said, Rachmana heicha, where is this Rachmana? Where is Hashem? Yosef Rava after this, Rava pointed to the ceiling. Shmei Klatal. Abai nafik lebra. He went out and he asked Klapi Shemaya. Amalei Rabba Tavaycha Rabba. They're both saying good possibilities. They're both saying that both of them have potential, great potential to be Rabbanim. So there will be Rabbanim. I don't know. Inshi Butzin. We take for the other. It's a saying that we see. How a child is. We know where he's going. He's talking about a pumpkin. We'll see already when it starts to sprout. Exactly what it's going to be. Amar Rav Yehuda Brei Rav Shmuel Barshilas Shedra Teisha Ochlu Dover. What about 9 people ate bread? The Echad Ochel Yerek. So he says yes, but starfin. That's 10. You say Zimun of 10. Okay. Amar Rav Zera Boy Minei Rav Yehuda Shmoyne Mao. What about Shiva Mao? What if it was only 6-7 people and the other person ate Yerek? Amalei Leishna Shisha Loshna. That doesn't matter. Now Shisha Vadai Lo Boy. I didn't ask 6. 6 not. No way. Amalei Shapar of this love is also time mine should take a ruba. no, he said you're right. You should. There's Rav. He's saying you didn't have to ask it. He's saying you didn't even have to ask it. I'm sorry, that Ikaruba and Hachanami Ikaruba, same thing. He didn't ask it. He thought that was totally different. That's it's about you need Ruba the Minker. It's not Ruba the Minker. It won't be enough. Okay. Let's say one more mice in the Gemara. Story goes as follows: Yane Malchus. And now Yane was a bad king. We'll see in a moment. He'd killed all the Talmidei Chachamim, and he was an Amoritz. And now Yane Malchus, now they ate a meal with bread. Now they were on a bench, and there were no Rabbanan, so they said, what are we going to do? How are we going to bench? They want a bench. Besides, so he said to his wife, to the queen, I wish we could have someone to bench. Listen. Now she didn't see things as he did. She said, listen, I'll bring you somebody, but you cannot cause him any pain. You have to protect him. So she brings Shimon Shetach. This was Achva. It was a brother. Shimon Shetach was a Talmud Chacham. He was the one that remained from all the Talmud Chacham. So they bring him in, and they want to honor the Rav. And Usi ben Didei Dida, they place him between she and him, between the queen and the king. Which he answers to Mama Lavka, he wasn't very happy with the Yanai, Shimon Shetach. He says, you're not honoring me. He was giving a little bit to You need to honor the Torah. The person who honors the Torah, who beautifies the Torah, he's still the Pasuk says the Torah. If Silsus from Mecca techabedcha, ki techabkena. If you honor it, it'll hug you. You'll gain from the Torah. So he didn't like what he answered. Like I see he's tough. He's not listening to me, to the king. Okay, okay, no, bench. So he says to him, what do you want me to do now? What am I supposed to say because I'm Muslim for the Zimun? I'm supposed to say, Baruch she'achal yanei v'chaberu of mishaloi. That's not what Chazal meant from Zimun. They said, we're supposed to say together, we're going to make a bracha together. I didn't eat. So he said, okay, Shas Yanu Koisa. So he drank the cup of wine in order to be the third person for the Zimun. I don't know who the second one was, but apparently there was someone. Shas Yanu Koisa. And Yorvei Koisa Chida. So he drank the cup, that was his meal to be mitzaref. So that was a chiddush. We haven't seen that. We saw 9 people in Yerech. We never saw that the third person cannot eat, doesn't have to eat. But the third person has to eat. So this was his own opinion that he did this. The Avrachi. And that not only to be yaitzi part of it, but he was moitzi that. He didn't even really eat the meal. He was moitzi that. That was a chiddush. In fact, the rule is the person who does the zima is never moitzi achi yoichel kizayis dagan. He has to eat a minimum of a kizayis dagan. Now we're going to see that itself is a little bit controversial, because kizayis dagan is not something you have to bench midaraisa. It's only midarabana. Benching midaraisa requires svia, but you can still be moitzi people with a kizayis dagan. Meisur Shugil all of the Hasi Yimayim, I feel lo Tavi Yimayim, Batsir, Lachimam Elab Groigris, Ahmed Starv. So here we see, it's not true, you don't have to think that Yeah, you don't think kizai is dogon. It's enough that you just toivel, you stuck a vegetable in some juice, some fish juice or something, or you ate a date. It's the roof of mitzdarif. Avolahoitzi yidei es a rabbin. Yidei chayvasan. Sorry, thing. Lahoitzi is a rabbin yidei chayvasan. Ad sheyochel kizai is dogon. But so he says. The Gemara answers no. It's the roof of mitzdarif. Yes, you are mitzdarif. That you could do with even a vegetable. You have to eat it. I feel like you are mitzdaref.